Are we back? That's so weird, man. It wasn't. That's so weird. I don't even know what to say. Man, this technology stuff is so confusing sometimes. I didn't change my settings at all. I didn't even change it then. I literally just restarted the stream. But we're on 1080. So weird, dude. I don't know, man. This is freaking weird ass freaking life, dude. This technology stuff. Anyways, we just did a restart of the stream there. It fixed it either way. I looked at my settings and it was on 1080 rescaled to 720, and then you can't change it while you're streaming. So then I turn off the stream and I look at my settings to change it, and it says 1080 rescale to 1080, which is where it always is. I leave it there as default, and then I restart the stream and we're on 1080. It's so weird. I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. Let's just get back to it here. We've done literally nothing. Did we even let the month tick by? No, we didn't. So we're gearing up for an Ottoman war. I was just talking about how we have 2-2 here in admin, so we're locked in at 14 per month, maybe 16 if my Queen Regent governs for a while, if we're lucky. Any spare admin is going to go to here, pushing out admin efficiency, admin ideas, and then we're donezo's. But we're going to be very lacking admin points right now. I feel very lacking. What a shame. Alright, so Songhai, can you please go, yes, defensive, there it is, or threatened. Nice. So we're 1 over our deploy relations, but well worth it here, grabbing 2 of the more powerful Muslims, hopefully preventing them from joining the coalition, because the coalition is going to be composed almost entirely of Muslims at this stage if we can destroy the Europeans, which we've been doing a pretty good job on. Apparently Liberty Desire currently doesn't exist. So the other thing is these guys are Catholic, so they absolutely despise me because of the opinion of heretics. So I can't even enforce religion on them. If we jump to war, they would be 5 relations away. Wow. That's weird. Spanish Louisiana just suddenly flips Protestant. Well, he doesn't hate us so much. Let's make him Hussite. So they should ignore all religious penalties. But we are going to want to enforce on them regardless, so that their colonies are Hussite at least. And when we run out of places to convert, we're going to put it in there. I did notice that Louisiana is no longer colonizing, though. He's actually boxed in. It's a shame. And these guys are all duchies, so they're not going anywhere. Yeah. I am aware of the truce map mode. I use it very rarely. I don't have it on one of my hotkeys here because of how rarely I use it, but I do look at it. We've looked at it a couple times this session here. This is the kind of situation where you do want to look at it, to look at who you're actually going to attack. Of course, these are my subjects here, guys. Trier just came out of the coalition when we opened the game. So we're doing this, and we're doing the Ottomans. And this is German clay, right? So it should core quickly. So in order to do our missions, we want to full annex Trier. And then we want to take 4 of these, which if we attack Munster, he's allied to Berg. That's 3, 1 from Berg. But we also want to take this from him to complete the next mission. I need to sneeze. And that's the German Confederation. So literally this truce, 5 years, we're going to get the 5 admin efficiency. But let's start off by attacking Trier. I always sneeze in the morning. Thanks. We're now 1 over our relations. I think we're just going to be 1 over our relations, to be honest. And I want to make a statement, guys. At what date do you think we're going to form Rome? I'm going to say 1660. And regardless of whether we form it there or not, it's important that we make a date. 1655. Well, I know we need 2 wars against France. We need probably 2 wars against England. 6-year truce. Yeah. I'm going to say 1660. That's what I had in my mind. I think anything before that... Dude, thank you, Viking. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Anything before that is too greedy, and the reason I say that is because we now, having annexed... What did we annex? I mean, Spain, Poland, Moravia, who we made into a Frankenstein, Naples, Milan, Bavaria, to name a few. We now have Diplo points once again here. And we have 6 all the way down. And we basically... The only thing we need is imperialism now. That's it. So we can start to fall behind in Diplo technology if we want. So as soon as we hit this guy here, 100 church power, we're going to take the 20% culture conversion cost reduction, which should be 100. I mean 90, the cap. If we ignore innovativeness, 45, well, 25 plus 25 is 50, we're on 70. There it is. Plus 20 is 90. So we're overkilling the cap with the innovativeness. And it's time to squeeze out as many Saxon provinces as we can. However, the problem is, of course, that if we are forming Rome, then those Saxon provinces will be being converted to Saxon, not Roman. So we have to have a date in mind so that anything that finishes after that date we do not do. And with that in mind, we should take a look right now. 11 Diplo per month. Okay. So this guy can be converted... Well, hang on. Wait for the Hussite modifier, you twit. It's not right now. Converted back to Saxon, I was going to say. I'm drinking something I shouldn't be drinking, energy drink. Playing really, really slowly, deliberately though. Because we have no manpower. Okay, so opening and closing the game messes up our merchants. It's a shame. I don't know where's the last one we placed. It always retracts the most recent one that you put down. I gotta love you for... I think it was actually Lubeck into English channel. I'm pretty certain. But we don't have one there. Let's do that. And we should be able to take a parliamentary debate now. So the question is... Oh, there is the annexation cost reduction. Culture conversion cost reduction is interesting, but we're hanging out for the manpower, right, guys? Legit. It's one of the only ways that we can get manpower. So we want to be going back to war to have those 2 options available. I almost want to ditch Spanish Louisiana, but we shouldn't do that, right? It's too early. taking one province from Mainz. I'm playing really slow, guys, to make sure I know where we're at. No mistakes allowed any longer. For Franconia, conquer Franconia, 100 military points. Gonna give it to... that was the plan, to give it to the Palatinate. But he no longer borders them. Interesting. No, we can give him this one. That will work just fine, it looks like. Okay, what's stopping us from doing this? We're waiting on the building, the workshop. Alright. I'm gonna forget about building slots here, guys, regrettably. This hurts me a little bit. But I'm gonna burn Bohemia. Because we don't have enough Croatian provinces. Ordinarily, I would have converted this province to Croatian, but it's been Orthodox this game. Because I was trying to spawn rebels from that to walk into the Ottomans. Which did end up being partially successful, after failing like 4 times, right? Okay, 1 stack to go for Mainz, 1 to go for Trier, and this war is on, I think. Walking out towards the Ottoman Empire. So if we can, I really, really, really want to avoid losing manpower. This is a full annexation of Trier. Let's try to split up our armies like this to suffer less attrition. So, with that in mind, Viking, we have 28 years before forming Rome, so we literally can't do some of our highest dev provinces. We're going to want to avoid the highest dev provinces, or else they're still going to be converting to Roman. That's one of the reasons I sort of brought it up at all. It's been on my mind. Okay, we're going to convert, while we're at war, Castilian Brazil. New Spain. Spanish California. Pacifico Norte. And that is all of our colonial nations. So Castilian Brazil just got popped up above 100. Where are you? Nice. Okay, so new colonies should flip to Hussite now, which is good. And yeah, now we want to start buying that down with prestige, because as truces come up, people could support their independence. So as our prestige gets higher, we'll buy it now. We have some corruption, which I'm not routing out at max. Apparently we're making good money, apparently. Nice. So we hit some debt for the first time, and I chose to debase once and pay off our loan. For the first time last session in a long time, we hit some debt. Along with everything else we've been experiencing, we had a brutal coalition war. Our manpower's in the bin. Not too thrilled with hitting some financial issues as well. We can siphon from Sweden and Russia. Speaking of which, I mean, now they're all Hussite, they're happy with us, so we want to keep an eye on these guys' relations and their economy. Their economy, more importantly. They're all suffering, guys. It's Lithuania who's doing the best. I'm going to siphon from him one time. So the religious issues inside Lithuania basically don't exist because he's Lithuanian. And he's slowly converting one at a time. Speaking of which, let's take a look at our missionaries for people who are interested. We do have 1 in Sweden, 2 in Russia, and 1 in Lithuania. Apparently kicking it about at any given time. So we've basically generated 4 missionaries. We are going to try to avoid converting their land and let them do it themselves. Obviously our land is prio, which I'm actually just doing indiscriminately at this point. I'm just putting them out. I think that's okay. Desperately, desperately, desperately want the manpower from the parliamentary debate. We apparently we slackened 22,000. Now 22,000 is intriguing to me because we peaked out actually at about 22,000 when we stated everything, when we had everything stated. Since then, we've annexed so many subjects. We have unstated everything for governing capacity reasons. But you still obviously get the trivial amount of manpower. So we've actually equalized again that to where we were like 30 years ago. So hopefully we're on the up and up now in terms of manpower per month. Remember we got the 20% more manpower here. That makes sense. So we're starting to catch up again. And speaking of catching up, we're about to pull out of 0, it seems. Hopefully we can start making some manpower. Is it good pace at the moment? I think so, yes. I think we're making good pace, but we were kind of having a more legendary status game, like doing better than we ever had before. And I started expanding the earliest, unlike any other game, which puts a lot of pressure on me. Which was kind of uncharted territory. I started ignoring aggressive expansion by like 1540, unlike I had ever done before, just completely ignoring it, no meme. And I did in the back of my mind think that this could cost me. It could cost a run, but it was the smart thing to do in my opinion. And yeah, we really experienced peak struggle last session. Really a lot of punishment, a lot of slowing us down. I think that we have bridged it now for the most part. I think so. We just allied Songhai. He's a Muslim, very strong. So we have relation slots now. We allied Bengal. He's a Muslim, so he was already an ally. But that's going to keep them out of the coalition, as well as having an extra ally here keep the coalition down. We're also jumping on many of the nations who would be otherwise coalitioning us, so that the other nations aren't joining, like Hindus, but we're going to be eliminating coalitions members. Yeah, so I think as long as we can keep the ball rolling, I think we're going to be okay. Good. Okay, we had one colony, which was from integrating Spain, which just finished, and it actually had rebels on it as well. It had those, which disappear now that it's finished. Natives. Hee. Nice. Very good. That was costing us 4 ducats a month, which has gone away. How much overextension is that? 42. So I guess even though we're at 0 manpower, the manpower from the parliament is very rare, eh guys? It is a shame. Compared to that campaign, we are slightly ahead as of now. Well, slightly ahead. I mean, we're ahead as of now. We are ahead as of now compared to that game. We're having a better campaign. If there's one way that we're not ahead, I think it's the actual culture. The culture is maybe similar size. But in every other aspect, we are ahead. And to answer your question, Happy, no. It's exactly the same run. Now, you might say, well, how are we going to do it? Basically, we're Bohemia this time. We didn't start as Hungary, we're Bohemia, which means that we have 15% annexation cost reduction instead of 10 from the Bohemian Commonwealth instead of the Hungarian mission, which gives you 10. That 5% is absolutely gargantuan, though. Hello? Okay. Yeah, it equals 33% exactly. So I remember the last round of annexations, despite our absurd admin efficiency and annexation cost reduction as Hungary, the last round of integrations into the country costed 1,000 because of the sheer size. We were integrating huge subjects, and it cost us 1,000 Diplo points. So that would have saved us 333 Diplo on the last round alone. It was maybe 333 Diplo to say if we had that, we would have got the one culture, maybe is a bit much. We would have needed more, but it would have been close. And that was, again, to stress just the final round, the final batch of annexations. We would have saved hundreds, if not thousands, of Diplo throughout the course of the campaign, and that's what we're doing differently. It's not all sunshine and roses, though. Being Bohemia, we have one less diplomat that we would already have access to for the entire game, and that does cause us some issues, not having the diplomat that I would like. I hate the parliament, guys. I wish it would just give me the manpower. Oh no, a coalition builds. This is a nightmare. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. Okay, I was hoping that wouldn't happen. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, but this went up to like 80% siege progress on Trier, just standard stuff. Just being unironically bad on every single siege every single time. It really gets tiresome. Okay, so the Ottomans outtech us. But we got that 10% discipline. So he's got higher tech units than us, but I believe... Yeah, look at that. We're just disgustingly powerful, so we should be fine, but again, we have like no manpower. So we want to engage him sparingly. Don't forget Tunis. What about Tunis? Algiers is going to have to wait, dude. The capital of Tunis. Again, bad at sieging, feels good. So we have to attack Stettin and AQ, or else they're going to join the coalitions. Man, yikes. We need these wars to resolve themselves faster. I usually play Portugal since it's easy. Yeah, Portugal's a good tutorial nation. I would recommend it. I'll just say before reading your comment, Smiley, is the way that I would recommend trying to learn EU4, which by the way is not the best game to get into because the devs are insistent on destroying the integrity of the game, so I'm just warning you right now. It's already in a kind of hollow state compared to where it used to be. Is to just play the game and have no real objective or goal, just simply survive and thrive. That's what I recommend. Don't try to do anything, just try to play the game and just survive. That's what I recommend. And Portugal is a good nation for that because there's very few threats to you, and you begin with Castile and England as allies. So if you're lucky, you can just sit there and chill and learn the mechanics of the game. When I grab a state from Morocco, I usually face economic consequences after. Yep. Yeah, so it's interesting that you talk about that, Smileys, because basically to answer your question, right now in the current state of EU4, one thing that I do like, because I haven't been thrilled with the way the game is going, one thing that I really do like about EU4 right now in its current state is that your finances are very, very, very valuable. Because in the past, there were actually situations where you could quite literally have too much money, and there was nothing to do with your money. We are a far cry from that right now. Money is actually really valuable, which is how it should be, and I enjoy that. Because of what you're talking about. As well as other things, like there's more buildings and more buildings which have really high priority. But what you're talking about is whenever you do anything, there are financial consequences for doing that thing. And one way that, if you have a huge ambitious goal in mind, you often cannot afford to do this. But one way that I think the game should be played, to answer your question, which is it's not often played in that manner, I think people don't really have this in mind as much as they should, is to take people's money. And I think rather than... There used to be this notion in EU4 that clay, as in land, is superior to everything else. It used to be a meme, right? Clay is greater than all. And what I would try to say is that I don't think that is the case anymore. Far from it. So, as Portugal, if you fight a campaign against the North Africans and, you're suffering because you're fighting the war, when you piece them out, if you take, 100 overextension in the beginning of the game, you're going to be dreaming if you think that's going to pay off the price of the war and so on. Not at all. It's not going to do anything. And in fact, for years after establishing it, you have increased corruption from the overextension. You're going to have the unrest, the rebel factions you have to fight with, and it all costs money, 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 money. And I think it obviously creates aggressive expansion. If you keep playing in that way, you're going to have aggressive expansion issues. So the way that I recommend playing is to take a few assets. So, for example, Fez being a mountain province is going to alleviate the wars in the future. Very, very nice strategic. So very much think about trade centers, things that will give you a disproportionate amount of money, things of strategic value, like forts. You should take that and spend all the rest of your war score on taking money from the enemy and prioritizing trade power when it benefits you and war reparations. But you should be fighting for money. Another exception to that rule is if you do not have any land to invest into. Let's say you're playing Theodoro, then all of a sudden having a little buffer of having money so you don't go bankrupt is really important when you're on Province Minor. But at the same time, having money is kind of pointless because you don't have anywhere to invest it. Also, taking raw cash is going to give you crazy amounts of inflation the smaller you are. So it's perfect for a nation like Portugal that is of at least a decent size and does have somewhere to invest their money into. But that is what I recommend doing, is playing for money. People should be playing for money. Hey kiddos. I think that people do not play for money as much. So the idea is to make your wars as fast and as smooth and as decisive as possible. And sometimes you get into really nasty wars, right? And you want to try to alleviate that that financial issue, the pain that you're feeling from fighting the war, by taking the money from their friends, taking the money from the separate peace deals. The war reparations should be the most important. They're the most highly valued. And then investing into your country. Give me the manpower game. Yikes. I don't really know what to think. We are actually generating manpower and I don't want to lose it. But, we're less than 10% of the way there. I so badly want the manpower from the parliament. Hey Prots, thanks for the 14 months, dude. Appreciate you. Nice to see you, dude. I'm thinking about my my diplomats right now. Am I being derpy? So I need diplomats to be free to jump on people. What the? Bruh. Oh, man, oh man, oh man. What is this game doing to me, dude? Oh no. Yeah. Jeez, I think this is why I anticipated this, dude. Like, pre-1660, I just don't have the faith, you know. That's why I said 1660. I know. Anyway, disgusting. Oh man. We also have administrative ideas we're working on right now. Alright, so let's consolidate this down. We ironically have cannons in excess, which if I disband, which I plan to do, it's going to give me manpower. I'm basically holding on to them like storage. So we have 2 stacks with a little bit extra going out to fight the Ottomans. We have 2 stacks dealing with this war. We need to jump onto Stettin, who is actually Munster. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We need to take a bunch from Munster to complete our missions. Frick. We double his war score cost. He's actually full annexable. Interesting. We could full annex him from Stettin. Okay. We have flipped to Hussite religion after forming Prussia, which means we lost the Prussian government type, which requires you in this patch, this is before Leviathan, to be Protestant or Reformed. You can be Hussite in Leviathan patch. Which means that we don't have half the capacity, so we are over, but we're not disgustingly over. Now, if I reach this guy here, 25% more governing capacity, we will actually be under. And I am going to actually unstate stuff. We've got 3 states additional apart from our capital right now, which I am going to unstate. I'm just holding on to them for now. Alright, now that we're at war, we have to give this occupation to the Palatinate. Let's just double check. That is, yes, it is Franconia. That is Franconia. Good, good, good. Alright, so that's the peace deal that we're looking for there. 78. We almost have the war score, but it's a full annexation, though. So, we're probably best off just going in for the stack wipe here if we can. What's the next rebel factions coming here? Savoyard and Augsburg, which if you guys recall are extremely... That reminds me, let's state up Piedmont for prosperity. Which... So if we're going to state it up... Yes, let's use the missionary strength edict there. Which is unlikely to occur. Prosperity. Let's also promote Piedmontese. Why can't I... It should have the div. Okay, there he is. 30... Wait. Dude, I just made a mistake, man. No, so... Damn it, man. This campaign... It's been, like, giving me nightmares. Yeah, I just made a mistake doing that. Because we need to unstate everything to flip Croatian. So... give me a second. We do want to do the 0 state trick. And in order to do that... You fulfill the requirements to form Piedmont, but you don't state it. So I just lost my opportunity to state it up for free because we deploy annexed it. But I have to state it to accept culture. I think that's fine. To promote culture. Jeez, man. Yeah, so we're going to unstate it. Yeah, forget about that, though. The prosperity, it's not going to happen. We're going to unstate that. I was trying to do that to get the development cost reduction, which isn't going to happen. 45% per month. Okay, we had to state it to get the culture. That's fine, and we're going to unstate it so because we don't want our capital to be a state. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I can't do bloody anything. I don't do anything without thinking it through. Missionary and missionary strength. It's exactly what we would want if we were not desperate for manpower. I think, you know, I know some people don't have faith. I don't think they've been in our games. We're not that desperate for missionary strength right now. I think you guys all know that's the case, right? We're going to get our hands on Rome and Mecca soon, putting us up to 6 missionaries. This isn't the point at which we're pushing for the one faith. The one faith is bottlenecked behind owning the land that needs to be converted. It's not bottlenecked behind converting our country as fast as we can. We know that from experience. I don't think I'm going to actually bother with that. I'm so desperate for manpower. Obviously, there are some benefits to having the missionary strength. That should go without saying. like improving our religious unity at a faster rate. Our unity's increased by 40% by policies, so it's actually doing pretty well. This guy, it's so enraging, man. I don't know how to cope with this guy. It's, you know, like, we don't work into the equation the fact that the AI sieges things down at 14 and 28%, 100% of the time, and that I unironically siege down 1 out of 50 forts at that kind of rate. Like, this is why my heart just sank when I saw France joining the coalition, because I had to attack the Ottomans so that we didn't have to fight France and the Ottomans combined, and I wasn't in position to fight the Ottomans. I mean, the Ottomans are outnumbered. We have the most disgusting quality advantage, as you can see, and yet I'm so demoralized simply because I'm not in position with 100% of my armies to roll over him. That's all that it takes. Oh, you're not in position to just roll over him with 100% of your armies? Well, welcome to hell, because they're gonna just siege everything down in a second. I'm so sick of it. Like, it gets really, really old. Sitting on fort level 1s with, like, the maximum amount of cannons to make a difference with siege pips on our generals, and they out-siege you every single time. Anyway, it's just try to get that off my chest. It's just so rough, dude. It just never ends. That's the story. Alright, renovate Berlin. Construction and development costs in Berlin, and the tax penalty goes away later on. But that gave us this guy here, the Great Prussian Military Reform. So there's no harm in passing this. The Prussian legal system is admin. I mean, really, there's no harm in doing that either, because I can put it in here. So let's go for these events. Professionalism. Beautiful. So we paid for this, guys, big time. We paid for these in Monarch points. But any professionalism we can get, 100 mil, 20 tradition. Beautiful. So we're going to be back up to 80. I could buy that, basically. This general's pretty whack. Freaking nice, dude. Nice generals. Nice-oo. Alright, very good. The Prussian legal system. So we need 100 professionalism if we want this guy here, guys, on war, which I really want, but that seems like a long ways away. How many generals is that, guys? 23 generals, right? Which cost us 45 a piece. Okay. So we're routing out money right now, and we're still at 35 per month. Like, we are pretty rich. I think we should go for a rank 5 advisor if we can afford it. Let's try to do that. Our current one is not our culture. Oh, he is. I'm dumb. Okay, cool. Super, super expensive. I'm gonna put delay on that, but I'm gonna try to go for rank 5 mil advisors. Alright, from the Ottomans, we have to take everything but this, which right now I think is unrealistic. Yeah. So, probably something like that. Should be fine. Just make him full annexable in the next war. Hey, Alex. So let's use this stack here to siege, to make general occupations. That's what I mean when I say siege. Mission for reducing... Oh, you're talking about Croatia, okay. $200 admin. It's nice. So we invested monarch points there. We're being refunded a lot of them. I just wish we got away with it without investing. It's good, man. It's good. Some admin better than no admin. %10 reduced admin technology costs for the entire game. I think we go for this. I think that's bait. It's good though. I mean, we will save more than 200 without a doubt. I know that, but we need admin right now. So with the strategy that we employ, for people who don't know, we take advantage of our absurd annexation cost reduction, which we had, ironically, some... where's my water? It costed us last time, but we have 5% better annexation cost reduction. So when we peak out here with this 5%, the 5% from the Prussian Confederation admin efficiency, the 5% from German, the 5% from German missions, the 5% from Savoy missions, the 10% reduced war score cost here, which we'll switch the harsh treatment from, and then the Tech 23 admin efficiency here, and the Tech 23 imperialism reduced 25% CB. Right at that point, at the end of this age, we annex the largest nations in the world and that we can, that are full annexable, and we release them as vassals. And by doing that technique, we're going to find that we're not exhausted on admin the entire time. We've been in that situation before where we have admin to spend. And that's why we're going to ignore that technology cost reduction. Because I need admin right now to push this badly and to call stuff up. Checking the parliamentary debate, which is pointless. Yep. Imagine getting a debate that you want or need, dude. I wonder what that feels like. I only know what it feels like to check every single month and to not get the one that you want or need. Welcome to EU4. It's time to do culture conversions. We can only convert Hussite provinces, so we are culture conversion capped. This can be converted back to... Why does that not feel like it's capped to me? Which it is. You can convert 7 development at 18? It's not capped. It's only a cap. It appears to be capped because of the adjacency. Okay, so what's wrong right now? Let's think about our modifiers. We've got 40 from Hussite in this, plus 25 from religious, makes 65. Where's more culture conversion supposed to come from? I guess the parliament? Maybe we should abandon the manpower, guys. German modifiers 10%. True. True, it's where it's supposed to come from. I think in that note, we've got a window where we need to be converting. That's the end-game goal. So I'm going to lament our manpower losses, guys. I'm going to lock this in right now. This is a window that I want to be converting. We're not capped. I was under the impression we were capped because I was specifically looking at adjacent to Saxon provinces. But that is actually a modifier in of itself that we normally take. Let's do it. Rip. Please don't be too costly here. We've got to be really careful handing that off, Crownland. We can do a little bit of legitimacy though, but not much. I can do army tradition, which I don't want to do. I could do the admin. I can do promote mercantilism, more army tradition, corruption is money, prestige. One more, frick. It's going to come from admin. Okay. Now that should be significantly better. There we go. That's more like it. Converting this guy back to Saxon. Now we have to calculate the time this guy back to Saxon as well. The date at which they finish. So if it takes 210 months, man, this is not going to be fun, but we'll get an idea of it. I'm going to bust out my calculator. 210 divided by 12 takes 17 years. That's fine. So that's on a 21 dev province. We've got 10 years remaining. I'm not going to convert anything that finishes at... Can you guys see my mouse right now? Yeah, okay, it's because I was tabbed out. Alright, that's interesting. So the issue we're having right now is that it's only Hussite provinces that can be converted. But let's do it. Saxon... Let's go around, speaking of burning provinces, let's just look at some high dev provinces like that. Venice. I think it's been a while since we burnt France. No, I actually remember doing this. So, apparently it has been over 20 years though. I'm not going to burn ones to eliminate the buildings. That's not wise to do. So I don't burn ones that are at 20 dev or down to 19 for building slots, or same at like 10 dev down to 9. But we're not exactly going to be developing for building slots, so... Good. 38 dev there. I'm glad I grabbed that while I could. 34 dev. So did we burn Spain since annexing them? I'm going to switch over to the map mode. This is gross. It's just bloody everything at this rate. Let's have a look here. Exploit dev, we didn't. Wow. Okay, well, we can't see if we're killing building slots, guys, which is a shame, but that's just too brutal. We can do it faster like this. So obviously Toledo in particular, but maybe Madrid or Valencia. These could be big cities. We definitely made hundreds of ducats, even though these are territories. Oh, I just did sailors there by mistake. That's bad, because it reduces the production value. I don't think we regret doing this. Now, I must not do Sardinia Piedmont culture, Piedmontese. So it's not even the culture, it's just the state there. We want to avoid that. Original Tidy Fan, thank you so much for the 26 months, dude. Appreciate you. Nice to see you, dude. I think we basically just keep doing this. Isn't this fun? We'll just pretend this is really, really fun. Chat, we're making money. Don't do Croatia, which includes that. I know that all of Greece is pretty much around 10 or less development, which feels pretty bad to be burning it, but anyway. It's really, really a good idea to keep as much in sync as we can, in sync with one another, and just do a mass burning every 20 years. That's how we're going to try to approach this game, which is going to be really unpleasant as it goes later on, but I did regret in my Hungarian game that I wasn't as vigilant at burning like we used to be in the past. So it's going to be much better to just get this bloody done, this campaign, one time, than have to do it again, right? Let's make sure to do it well. I'm not going to go for perfect efficiency in terms of burning everything in the world, but I'm just going to make sure that we basically burn more. Okay, this stuff up here is Prussian, which is not the good old Saxon German. Alright, I'm satisfied with that, I think, guys. Jeez Louise, we made almost 1,000 ducats from doing that. Obviously, that's not a good way to go about managing the economy. Let's just look at the bright side. Alright, so, more conversions. We can only convert Hussite provinces, so maybe I do want to manually convert things in that case. Seems that some of them have separatism also, because they were occupied by rebels. So we want to exhaust our points. If we can. See, this guy is separatism. What a shame, dude. What a shame. 27 dev, that's exactly where we need to convert as well. I don't think I can do it. Wow. Feels really bad. Excuse me. Sorry. Alright, well now. Saxon. Why does this feel so difficult? It's because we're doing German territory, that's why. It feels so difficult right now. So I can't do them if they're not Hussite religion, but I can only do adjacent to Saxon culture, and if you look at the map mode, it shows you all German culture, right? Okay, so that's pretty much all I can do. Somebody asked me why did I flip to Prussian instead of Saxon. Good point. I tried to do it. There was only one thing I had in mind, which is trying to have provinces not flip to Prussian from Saxon culture when I converted to Prussia, and for some reason it took them from Saxon anyway. But you guys are right though. It was instead of just forming any old German province culture, excuse me, I should have flipped to Saxon culture. You know, I don't think it actually made a difference. Now I think about it, I don't think it made a difference at all. Actually, being the only difference it made is no, it literally didn't make a difference. People are asking me why did I flip to Prussian primary culture to form Prussia instead of Saxon. The game would be identical right now. I was going to say that once we switch religion, I would at least still have Saxon promoted if we did it the other way, but I would literally be Prussian right now either way. Prussian culture group. So it literally does not make a difference. Anyways, I thought that was a small error that I made, but now I think about it, it would have been exactly the same. Being Prussian or Saxon, we would just be Prussian right now anyway. So some people were criticizing me for that. Okay, let's do some... That's right. The reason I was indiscriminately using my missionaries is because these provinces have modifiers, so many of them. Let's try to be more deliberate with our conversions, but I can only do it in provinces that we have to micromanage every province, basically. I think we're a little bit ahead, we were just talking about that. So can Vienne be converted? Yes, it can. Good. And we'll chuck a Saxon culture down on Vienne, which is already Saxon anyway, you dimwit. And I just burnt it for that reason, thinking it wasn't Saxon, you dimwit. Dumbass, dude. That's Bavarian, however, bordering Saxon, we want to convert that. What is this bonus? Mercenary something, who cares? Okay, now these being German provinces, we core them quickly, and we have the admin to do it right now. Nice. Let's core those quickly, and as soon as these are done, we're going to peace out the Ottomans. That's the intention. So I wonder if we could get any drill off. Any drill that we can do would help us get that professionalism. We are under our force limit and our naval force limit. Good. Just want to check that. Didn't we have 2 stacks up here? Ah, yes, of course. So one's going into Stettin, or else they're going to join the coalition. Stettin and Munster. That is coming up June next year, so I want to drill 2 stacks, but are 2 stacks enough to deal with the Ottomans here? Decisively? Probably not. Make sure to hurry this up. Let's come down this way. 3 stacks. Right now we have a 4 stack gameplay, and this stuff here is miscellaneous, which he is actually responding to. Be careful. I think if you get 6 dip instead of 6 dip for the next... $100 military points here, beautiful. It was the end of the year, the end of the game. For the last, yes, yeah, I agree with you, I know. You're just misspelling there, dude, like throwing me off. Yeah, he's talking about the fact that I did everything that is within my power last game to get a 6 in Diplo. Everything within your control. And we didn't get a 6 in Diplo for literally like over 80 years towards the end of last game. Which basically ruined the game! Imagine that! It was horrible. So that's a window where, let alone the fact that we're doing the same run, we can improve on. Obviously we get +2 rolls to Diplo, so it's rolling a 4, 5, or 6. The fact that we didn't have a 6 in Diplo for the whole game last game, the Hungarian game, was absolutely tragic and terrible. But, you know, you can only do your best. The game, if it doesn't want to give it to you, it doesn't want to give it to you. I kept re-rolling, it was the worst. It's terrible. Now I feel like we have money all of a sudden, guys. So with this money, we want to upgrade him for military points. Speaking of military points, some people are already on 19, but this is too far ahead of time. We're going to roll professionalism. Right, chat? I mean, the other thing I can do is harsh treat really efficiently right now. 5 mil. So I guess I could harsh treat to avoid fighting the rebel factions. I mean, that's kind of efficient on the manpower. Look at all the rebel factions coming. Yikes. It's from overextending. An unrest advisor would be really good. An unrest advisor would actually make a difference by the looks of things. So what else affects unrest here? Religious unity, we're improving. War exhaustion, I can't do much about. Overextension, I can't do much about. I would like to be more stable. Legitimacy is improving slightly over time. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we're going to go to these guys to then convert them to Saxon. Alrighty. Saxon, Saxon, Saxon. This guy is Saxon here. That has a modifier. Convert him. That does convert, so we can convert it to Saxon. Good. Songhai's relations are max, but they're not at 150, which is where we want them to be to do the Croatian stuff. 500 ducats to influence him. I mean, we could always do that. I could guarantee him. Problem is, he's going to get aggressive expansion penalty regardless, right? Even though he's our ally. I think we're going to have to put money towards that. It should work. Guarantee Bengal. We do have decent improved relations over time modifiers. Alright, this is a Deus Vault after all, so let's do our best here to win some battles. So, I know that... Okay. So, I'll just throw this out there. You guys can take it for whatever it's worth. I don't care. It's pointless to compare to other players, guys. It really is, because, I mean... You know, Flurry did a One Culture recently on the different patch, and it's a completely different patch. But I always had this in my mind, that if we're trying to do it as Rome, then forming Rome moves your capital to Rome, which then releases colonial nations. So you might say, oh, but Monk, but if you don't unpause the game, that's not the case. Which is true. But I always sort of viewed that as a cop-out personally. Now, we would have the ability to do something, if you saw Flurry's run, to move our capital afterwards. So, I actually thought about that as well, by the way. Basically forming Rome, if you unpause the game, colonial nation spawn, but instead moving your capital. Well, it's very hard to actually calculate those sorts of things, guys, because we have, if people recall, not last run, but in runs before that, instead of running out of Diplo points, we ran out of admin points. And you need to have hundreds and hundreds of admin points to be able to move your capital at the end of the game. So we're not forming Rome. We're going to form Rome properly. We're going to form Rome in the middle of the game properly. We're going to get it done. We're going to enjoy being Rome. It's got a cool color. And that's how it's going to be. And everybody should be satisfied because we've proven many times that we can do it before. We're not going to do anything janky and weird. Alright, now I'm thinking about my diplomats here. We could always just throw them into our subjects. I think Holland. Holland is prio. Enforcing religion on these subjects. So now they're mad at us as well. Okay, we do have some prestige. It updates because our relations go straight up to 200. Stupid game. Yeah, so enforcing relations on the... religion. Enforcing religion on these subjects. Let's do that. With diplomats. Admin! Nice to see you too, Admin. Appreciate you. Exactly. It's just risking the one culture. What I was trying to say is that there was a stage, guys, where doing a one culture was pretty straightforward, believe it or not, and I actually wanted to do it as Japan for sort of prestige, to have fun. They have the guy, Ando, I think it's called, who has culture conversion cost reduction. That was so long ago. That was many, many, many patches ago. They kept adding mechanics to the game to just generally make the game more difficult, but also make the one culture debatably more difficult. And instead of just being the idea in my mind of thinking the next stage of difficulty for me to achieve as a player is to do one culture, instead of that, I started thinking about, well, how is it even possible for me to do one culture without exploits at this stage? As the game got tougher. And yeah, unfortunately that's how it has been. And with that in mind, I thought to myself, if that was the only way it was possible, we would be doing that. I would just complete everything, and then I'd form Rome and say, wow, voila, there, it's done. But in my book, that's a cop-out. Now, I have thought, because spiritually, as soon as you unpause the game, the run's over with, right? But then I did think, exactly like Flurry did, we could move our capital to a colonial region at that stage. It's too risky, I don't want to do it. That's what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. We've done it without doing that. We're doing well, we're doing better. That's how we're going to do it. Resgroth, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate you. Finally a clean engagement with the Ottomans here. So we have no bonus, guys, to sort of celebrate for our manpower coming. There's nothing. There's nothing coming around the corner. This is just raw professionalism into slackening. And yeah. Nothing's coming to save us. So we're basically out. I'm definitely not funding that many troops. Alright, let's just work on one at a time, buying down, placating people. One at a time. As our prestige grows. When were the truces up? Who was coalitioning us? It should be pretty clear here. Looks like 38, 4 years. I should be really grateful for getting that 35, I suppose. That's the best we really siege, without exaggeration. Oh, shoot. Alright. I don't know if we can... I don't think it's really possible to take a clean engagement against a 48 stack. I mean, we'd be out of manpower either way. I mean, I could scorch this. This is faster pathing here. We've got a... look at that general, dude. So, we will also get a tick of reinforcement. Okay, fine. I'm gonna do it. Wait till his movement locks in and get there first. Alright, missionaries. Being very deliberate here. 6 months. Let's do this. 22, start converting that to Saxon. And he went the other way. Hey, dude! I'm not mad. I'm really mad. That. He just changes his mind. How rude. How rude. So I'm trying to go for an admin advisor, an unrest admin advisor. I think that's what serves us the best right now, personally. Okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this here? We core German provinces quickly, guys. So, like, we're running out of time. It's not the biggest peace deal ever. We do have to keep in mind that we want to full annex the... I don't, because of that. Ah, okay. I was going to say full annex him next time. I think it's time to break his relations with Kilwa either way. Kilwa's just too big. Let's take a little bit less. We're going to go for a 62% peace deal. That seems realistic in my book. Although, if we do Munster how we had planned, I could do that before piecing out the Ottomans as well. As the German stuff cores quickly. I mean, Stettin and Munster, I mean, that should go down quick. Let's do that. That gives us much more time here, so we're not in a hurry all of a sudden to defeat the Ottomans. I forgot an island? I didn't forget anything. We can't form Rome, dude. It takes 2 wars. To take the provinces required to form Rome. There's no point. Okay, I just realized that I'm spending mil on professionalism. We should develop Croatia. Could do 3 here, 3 here for building slots. I'm going to do that. Instead. Jeez, man, there's so much going on in my mind, chat. It's clogged up. My mind's at maximum capacity. It doesn't feel good. Culture conversions. The Babe Ruth has a modifier. Let's do 18 dev Saxon culture there. Got to go to these missionaries every time they finish. When does this truce come up? June. Alright, let's stop drilling. Start walking up there. It's fine. Hey, what's up, AVP? You think you can rush finishing off France before forming Germany? You get a permanent 10% manpower recover. Huh? I'm trying to defeat France, man. It's one of our huge priorities, but I'm trying. Form France. No. That can't happen. This guy's maneuver, the way that he's walking around is trolling me really badly. I'm getting really pissed. Okay. Do some courthouses. There's something about this game, guys, where we started trying hard at an earlier stage, an earlier date in this specific game. Do you guys feel me? And because of that, we're still trying hard. I feel like we're trying maximum hard now with our lack of manpower and stuff. And it's kind of depressing in a way. Because it seems to me like this is, with the way that this game's been the last 3 sessions, this is going to be the roughest and hardest game of all. Because it's only going to get worse. Like, there's just something about this game where this is like the most difficult run we've done for like no real reason. Does that make sense? Like in terms of micromanagement and stuff, it's just tough, man. It's really tough. Polish rebels are coming. Yeah, so we've got a second round of rebels, as you guys can see. Jeez Louise. From reducing autonomy. I mean, we haven't even recovered from the first round, like, to say the least. Not at all. It's really bad. That saves us 3 days here by applying my ruler to that stack. Well, we don't cut time off of the world conquest by getting pummeled and literally running out of manpower. That's not how we achieve that. I mean, that's 5,000 manpower. I don't know what we're gonna do, guys. I really don't. We've got some cannons to delete here. Looks like my subjects might win that engagement. It's Lithuania beating him up right now. The Ottomans, good on him. Trade efficiency. Oh, wow. Nice. That's some good money on our ruler. Beautiful. Wow, some good battles being won here. And Stedin's in the coalition. Ah. Yikes. That goes out the window. Okay, I was just about to dow him. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. Doing AQ. Oh, man. Okay. Good. Alright, so we need one stack to stay for the rebels, if we could. We literally bet him to that province with our 6 maneuver. He retreated into us in the highlands, get wrecked. Alright, alright, we're doing pretty well, eh guys? Like, this is so rough. So these guys here, these cannons, that can be deleted. We're still above 0 manpower, somehow. And we're making good progress in this war. Which we have a huge fire up under our ass to get out of this. So we're actually doing pretty well for time. And then we're going to jump into the AQ war. To be honest, the coalition's just straight coming up, so I don't know. I don't know. Jeez, this is so tough, dude. Jeez Louise. So it's going to be really important to jump on Munster, because that's German mission, so that's after AQ. This is after AQ. And that's the German admin efficiency completed. Huge priority there. To be honest, rebel suppressing might make a difference. Not really. So this begins as a Pomeranian province nowadays, right guys? These are Pomeranian. So that doesn't benefit us. Let's burn this. Okay, Algiers is probably complete paper. Let's look at quality from war enemies. Algiers is actually stronger than the Ottomans, debatably. He's got over 1 more morale, but 10 less discipline. Yeah, we're on ticking war score, but we're not doing great, are we? Let's go for more battles. Saxon and Babe Ruth. these are adjacent to Saxony here. Missionary modifier, missionary modifier. Okay, let's look at Poland, missionary modifier here, here, not here. Just trying to expand that Saxon culture slowly but surely. So there's so much tedious stuff going on right now. I hope you guys are aware of that. Even just explaining it all would be too tedious. Like, there's so much going on. I'm just trying to do it. So how big is the Polish rebellion going to 46,000? Oh my goodness. Okay, dude. Let's keep both stacks here to try to take it. So they'll probably spawn in different locations, but we want to be as decisive as we can to reduce the manpower through casualties. Okay, I had another thought as well, which has now slipped my mind. RIP. Saxon. Modify there, and here, and here. So sadly, I don't think there's anything adjacent to Saxon culture group any longer apart from Croatian, which can't be converted. We're actually converting everything. So let's chuck out more indiscriminately for now. At least it's less micromanagement. Nice, he suffered on that siege, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. We won't make it there in time. Okay, it's time to take up our military, but that, of course, hurts our the quality of our units. If we upgrade them, this says separatism. RIP, man. Frick. Whew. I don't know. I don't know how well we're doing, guys. Legit. That's AQ. Jeez. I mean, I have to doubtless Ross. He's in the coalition with France, Stettin. I feel like we're not going to get a window of peace, guys, which is so bad, because France is a big priority. Okay, so AQ war into Berg war, aka Munster. That's going to have to be how it is. We've got to keep these guys out. Hoping that we can take everything required to form Rome in that peace deal. Okay, and we would have hoped to have already defeated the Ottomans by now. Okay, so there's one sort of saving grace, which is that we don't have to full annex him next war as well because of this. Which means we don't have to do kill war. We should, but we don't have to. Azur's well, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the tier 3 sub, Azur's. You're the best. People saying take fort before piecing out. I'm not going to. 46. That's the best. That's the perfect peace deal there in terms of size. I'm more worried about speed. Speed. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to get the German admin efficiency. This land is what's required that the Ottomans own to form Rome. Okay. Now, I had the other thought that I had just occurred to me just in time. That's really good, which is we're going to unstate the stuff. So we culture accepted Piedmont. Okay, I'm not making a mistake, right, guys? I had to state this to cultural accepted, but you do not need Piedmont to be stated to form Sardinia Piedmont, and that is how we move our capital to a territory, right? I'm almost certain that's the case, right? So I can unstate it. We converted it. What are we building here? Okay, courthouses. Do some development with the edict. No. Okay, now we're going to unstate this. East Burgundy, let's have a look. So I think it all goes, guys. We did this guy here. Let's have a look here. Yep. Can't do that, damn, because I'm culture converting. Oh my goodness, yikes. Okay, this goes quickly though, right? Okay, phew, okay. Jeez, I didn't think about that. Oh, it's only 5 years. Alright, so this is where we're at for now. Just ever so slightly over, and we're doing that to reduce the CCR on these guys. Let's make sure like a day has passed here. Oh, good thing I did that. Do you see it change? Okay, good. Good. Das ist gut. Now we're not so over our governing capacity. Alright, so these poles here. We're going to quickly deal with this. But that's a really good general. And now AQ, we got to look at this peace deal here. Everything required to form Rome. That should be it. Right, chat? That is it, I believe. To form Rome. That looks like it to me. Okay. So 50% war score against this war before we finish the cause against Ottomans seems absolutely easy breezy, to be honest. If only we were not overextended. There's no releasing subjects shenanigans we can do. Okay, there's nothing I can really do, but speaking of releasing subjects though, we could, if we're doing well for time, we could take more land and prep a subject to be fed into this part of the world, like Armenia. Oh, he's got a core on Van. That would be really bad. Damn. Armenia would be the perfect guy. I guess QQ. QQ seems like they have a reasonable amount of cores. They have any on my territory. Looks clear. Okay, I think we're going to do that. Prep QQ. Does anybody know if QQ takes religious ideas? Jeez, my file's on my other computer. Hey, Lap, what's up? To check that. I think we're going to have QQ as a vassal. He's going to be... See, Armenia would be Coptic, guys. Frick. Maybe we could seize Van from him. Damn it. Anyways, I need one more vassal to basically guarantee the annexation cost reduction here, and I feel like this is where to do it. I'm thinking Armenia, guys. I think we take this stuff like this. We're going to be looking at something like this, right? And then we release Armenia. He's got a big chunk here. we immediately seize back Van, and then we feed him the rest. That should do it. But I need to be at peace, though. That's the difference. I need to be at peace. So, can we peace out before this war? We should do, right? September? Yes, we can. Okay. Now, speaking of this war, this stuff could be fed. We're taking 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be fed to Clone, right? Clone had admin. He's caught everything. I think in terms of war score and coring, we can feed that to Clone. So if we can manage to get to peace, we're supposed to be attacking France, who's guaranteed by Great Britain. Never mind. Let's just eat poop. Okay, we're going to do that, and then it's about fighting the coalition. So who is actually inside the coalition? I mean, those two, I'm hoping if we get to peace, they go away. Stettin. Hang on. Instead of France, we could fight Stettin in that downtime. Okay. Okay, then in terms of the big-ass coalition, I mean, I feel like we have to fight England, right? Which is not a fun time. Do you guys see the 38? England and Portugal. That's why it's not a fun time. But by pulling, wait, what? They're no longer allied. Oh wow, guys, England rivaled him. He's got a lack of rivalries. Now that's interesting. So they were allied to each other. Okay, England by themselves. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, well, it's going to be England. For sure, it's going to be England. But I fear the coalition is genuinely going to build up. Okay, so we've got one major mission, which is to win this before we finish our cause, declare war on this guy by September, and have the coalition go away and declare war instead. And those are our goals. So we've got to be fast. So, and I hope we're doing okay here in this battle. Scared to look. Die Rimmels. 5,000 manpower, guys. Oh man, man, oh man, oh man. Okay, positioning is really important. So we're gonna creep our way over here. Poland has not been converting any territory. Is it just because the rebels are on his ass? He might be broke? Colonizing? We have been making money? Is that real? The corruption's gone. Looks like it's real, guys. So, spending 2k to upgrade our mill advisor. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, speaking of which, is this the appropriate time to tech up? To be honest, this war is not that hard, right? I don't think this is the appropriate time to tech up, actually. We do have to tech up our admin, though. That in of itself is bad. It would be worth it to form... Oh my god. I know you're trying to help, Flake, and just leave it alone. Yeah, I got an idea, guys. Should we just form... We should just form Qing. It's just... Did you guys know that you can actually get more admin efficiency reduction by forming Qing? Dude, why didn't I think of that? I'm so bad. Why didn't you tell me that, chat? Let's form Qing. Oh, let's quickly just form Qing, okay? Before forming Germany, alright? That's the way to go. Or was it? What we'll do is we'll form the Great Horde, and the Great Horde has a mission of admin efficiency for 20 years. Wow, but I mean, we're going to be able to do work. Should we just let's form the Mughals, dude. Let's just form the Mughals. Why didn't I think of that, man? Quickly, chat. Let's just form the Mughals right quick. Okay? Because it's going to benefit us for doing that. Let's just PU Ming as well. We'll just PU Ming real quick. How long does it take to convert 5 dev, guys? We should actually do that now. Come to think of things, we've got really good conversion strength. We can do it in time. So I developed Croatia a little bit, as you saw. It's because both of these Croatian states have less Croatian development than Bohemia does. That's also why I burned Bohemia, even though I destroyed building slots here. So that 5, rather than developing, we could culture convert it. Yep. We could do it in time, that would help. Let's just do a flat calculation actually here. That's 18, that's 28, 33, 40, 46, 53, plus 5, 58. Dude, that's a lot. It should be good, right? Surely. 58 versus 30, 9, 43. This wins. We convert that wins. Perfect. Nice. No more development there. Okay, so the only developing that remains is inside of Piedmont. So this is where we're going to want to spend our points, guys. So somebody said don't unstate it. I'm unstating it for governing capacity. Now you can state it up, apply the edict for development cost reduction, and then unstate it again without paying the admin cost. So getting prosperity here would have been good, but it's unrealistic. It just takes too long. So any excess admin points, which I don't feel like we have any of, which it might be Diplo, eh? It might be Diplo, to be honest. We're going to put into these. It would be great if we could get the burgers happy. I don't think that's possible. We need to keep an eye out for a burgers loyalty event. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's not obvious, like, I guess I should address it. I'm just very irritable, guys. This whole campaign is just complete suffer. This has been like the hardest campaign, I just feel like, by far. But anyway, and there's no end to it, apparently. France needs to be dead to form France, right? So the idea of forming forming France in the next, like, we want to be doing it within 20 years, guys. I mean, what an absolute joke. But apparently that's where many people in chat's minds are at, that's somehow plausible. Meanwhile, like, we're struggling to kill AQ without running out of manpower. There's any number of things that we could do this campaign which would... Yes! It's huge, which would benefit the run. Sick. Nice. But you can't just do them, though. Okay. Beautiful. That's like well over 10k manpower there. Beautiful. Give me that. Putting us above the 80% modifier. And also... if we can get to 100 professionalism, we can take the on-war modifier, which is such a sick modifier. It's honestly the reinforcement cost 15%. I mean, the modifier is so good, But it's not going to benefit us that much because we can't drill our armies. We don't have the luxury of doing that. So if we don't get it, we don't get it, to be honest, guys. It's about 100 professionalism. So we actually have a policy that we work it in, and it reduces our reinforcement cost by 20%. I'm talking about the late game. So that would be 35% reduced reinforcement costs. For people who don't know, when your units take damage and they're injured, you pay to reinforce them financially, and it costs a heck of a lot. In fact, in a world conquest type game, it wouldn't surprise me if it was your #1 expense. Like, if you're constantly going to war fighting people, we're talking about so much money. Just tons and tons and tons of money. Okay, so you need a fort there to control or to piece out that part. Bruh. Look at that huge stack. AQ is unironically stronger than the Ottomans. Aha. His tech is trash. I take that back. He's 2 behind. That's surprising. So we do want to win some battles if we can. Let's try to see what we can pick away at. What siege do we have here? 3? Switch that to 4. And drill this guy. He's got better stats for fighting, but also better maneuver for attrition. I take it back. It's just worse. Use the worst siege general. Next rebel faction is Burger. Burglars, chat. I told you, dude. I told you, man. They're obsessed with burgers around this region. Prussians are doing well. Alright, so how large is this stack going to be? 12k rebels. In Hanover? So taking defensive in the woods will be the best we can do for our manpower there. Burgers are pretty good though, right, chat? I like burgers. I'm desperate, guys. If you can't tell, like, I'm playing super slow for reasons, right? If we take one bad engagement, I don't know. We will be in the pit of despair for manpower, and I don't see any way out. Like, that's why I'm trying to play this way. It's just... I don't know. I really don't know. If we run out of manpower, like, what do we do? Okay. Waiting on that one to convert it to Croatian. I was about to say Saxon. Also going to burn it. That was a stack wipe, guys, and it put us into negative manpower. 6 maneuvers as good as it gets. Okay, this guy, this is attrition here. Yikes. There it is. Separatism. Oh. Okay. Damn it. Okay, we're making pretty good progress on this war, it seems. Build some barracks? Okay, dude. Don't make me tell you off as well, subscriber. The only place that could benefit us with a barracks would be here. I'll do it. We'll have 0 autonomy in our capital, and this is going to get development from the missions as well. So that's big. We're going to have the building slots. I believe one of the missions actually requires you to have buildings in your capital city as well, which is that, one of the Piedmont missions. We should work on that. Why not? It takes time to build buildings, you know? Now this is going to be war score cost reduction, which is going to be jammed for the rest of the game. The Hussite war score cost reduction. Yeah, dude. We make almost 1,000 manpower a month, and a battle like that costs us like 4,000 manpower or more if we suffer attrition like this. It's bad. It's bad. So, honestly, the answer to the question, like, what are we going to do for manpower? It has to be, to an extent, like, having this war won while we wait for the cause with the Ottomans without taking engagements. Is that realistic? Being good and ready to peace out. Behaving as though we're at peace. Is that realistic? It might be. It looks somewhat realistic to me. To just chill a little bit. Yeah, in the new patch, there's reduced autonomy in the whole world. There's admin efficiency. I mean, if people can't see how strong those two modifiers are, they're just noobs, to be quite frank. I'm not trying to be mean. But 5 admin efficiency, which we would already obtain in Granada, we would have the money to build into it right now, right? I mean, that's outrageous. We would have 5 admin efficiency from like now onwards, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have that much hands-on experience with Leviathan, so there might be something I'm overlooking, but I'm pretty sure we could build it up and have 5 admin efficiency now for the rest of the game. I mean, it's just disgusting. And then reduced autonomy later on. It's just, it is what it is. Ever listen to audiobooks? Pretty good if you hate to read. No, I don't. I'm not sure it is good, Lab. Like, there's more than one reason which I don't like reading. I actually do like the idea of reading. Like, I don't, you know, in some ways, I know people make generalizations, like K-Kona and stuff. Like, a lot of my takes are like, oh yeah, standard, like, right-wing stuff. And I'm, one of those things is that I'm an uneducated idiot, right? Like, everybody would suggest, like, oh, okay, this guy didn't go to school or whatever. Like, I don't get off on the idea of not reading, if that makes sense. Like, it's the opposite. But there are multiple reasons why I don't like to read, and one of those is because nothing's worth reading because it's all communist garbage. That's how the literature has been completely dominated And before the media was a big thing, it was all about the written word, and it's been completely dominated for like the last 100 years, and you exclusively are able to read garbage which will destroy your soul. Okay? That's why I don't like reading, basically. So if you're just like, hey, you don't need to read The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, monk. You can listen to it. I will be like, destroy him! Off with his head, chat. Okay, I'm trying to. What a funny guy this monk is, dude. And I love this monk, he's such a funny guy. We can do. Now that this is Saxon, ooh, we've got a lot of stuff that can potentially be converted. But whether it can finish within the time period is another story. Let's make sure to convert around the Gulf of Venice, though. That's prior. So we're going to look back at where our missionaries have finished. This fog's been scaring me. By the way, is trade companies' improvements for manpower reasonable now? No. No, because of governing capacity issues. So once you get the town hall, which is Tech 22, quite some time away, that's when you can spend money to trade company the whole world without it costing you. In governing capacity, until then, we do the reduced size of trading companies approach, which is to do the trade centers and or the lowest developed province per region. But not until my capital's in Western Europe are we going to do investments. Because there's like a glitch where your investments disappear. Okay. Let's convert the coast. The fog is scaring me, man. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to be in a position where we're making manpower and the opposite is taking place. Reduce the attrition. Saxon that up. Make sure that these progress. They do. Very good. Okay. Nice-oo. We're on ticking war score. Hopefully my subjects don't throw, and we'll take what we can get. I feel pretty good about this. Positioning for the next war. September. Which is Munster and Stedin. Okay. Well, it's attacking Munster. Okay, this guy... move out, move out, move out. So if we attack Munster... Stedin... I mean, there's a whole bunch of people. Jeez. Jeez Louise. So we have to think about... how we're going to most decisively deal with this war. If we declare it. I do want to be on Hanover though because of the rebel faction. Hey crazy bugger Jono. Yeah, well. I mean, I use fallacious words, that's how it appears to people. That I'm exaggerating or using colourful language. But I'm right though. I wouldn't be saying it if I wasn't right. Literature has been completely controlled and dominated. When I make like outrageous statements, if people humor me, then there's a... So let's just suppose that some of the outrageous stuff that I say is the case. Well, there's a way that it has become the case, that it got that way. Like it's a series of things, right? Should we go fight the Frisian rebels? 2,000 manpower in the ditch, guys. It sounds like the worst possible idea to me. Let's drill, but I must stop drilling. That guy's got 3 maneuver, we're going to upgrade it to 4. Looks like Russia might win an engagement, that would be the dream. If it would bump up our war score from battle. Scared of my friends feeding. Wow, Russia's losing to AQ. Are you... What is wrong with you, dude? Okay, it's just morale. Come on, I believe in him. He's stronger in every way, he just lacks morale. Come on, Russia, don't retreat. You got this. Good job. Wow, it gave us a bunch of war score as well. Good freaking job. Alright, let's enforce on clone. Kievian separatists. Kiev. Okay, I guess we're gonna move out from here shortly. So I don't know if anybody has noticed what has happened with YouTube, for example, but YouTube was in a fledgling state, and then it became a sort of net positive, like people like YouTube, and it was growing in size rapidly. And then it became, among other things, regardless of your opinion on it, you can think whatever you want, but it became a sort of bastion of, it's like the Wild West. It was like the internet was back then in general, where people have the freedom to do or say whatever they want. And then it has been completely and utterly co-opted. Completely. Now, within a few short period of time, despite you would think it's basically an impossible task, it's completely monitored and censored and controlled. And also the self-censorship. The only way that you can survive and thrive on YouTube is self-censorship. And that is the same way that literature was 100 years ago. It starts going mainstream. Of course, people know that people were prevented from reading. Like, unless you guys are ignorant. Huge effort. I mean, that's what World War I was about. Sorry, I mean, the Protestant Reformation was about. Is having the ability to read books. No, you can't read books. And then so when certain people, or maybe people is not the appropriate term, lose, well then they embrace it and then switch the tactics. And you would think it's impossible, but within a short period of time, it's very, very possible. In fact, to completely and utterly dominate and control all of literature. So I just find it laughable, Lap's talking about old books. Yeah, exactly. People. Well, that's not exactly. I think you're referring to something else, actually. I don't want to have a bad look here, Waka Beast Boy. I mean, they're not human beings, is what I mean. Okay? People wonder, like, there would be too many people involved. Yeah, people. It couldn't be the case. Too many people would be involved. You'd be surprised. Not that many people are involved. Okay. So we're making some good money. I'm trying to decide if we just bust out the rank 5 advisor. I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. 2k. Yikes. Watch this guy die, right? I shouldn't even joke about it. Because it would really hurt. The other choice is to go for a rank 5 unrest advisor. Look at that. It would really help in certain areas. Let's give it a go. We're looking for a good advisor of our culture. And I'll do some... just smash out some governing capacity buildings. Alright, do we want to separate piece that guy or use his war score? I think we actually use his war score. So our subjects, there's not that many of them any longer, but they've done a pretty good job, I must admit, in this little war. Good job, guys. And wasn't this coming up in September? Wait, we've got a whole nother year. Is this real? We've got a year, Chad. We're ahead of the game! Nice! Ooh! That's a good feeling. Alright, let's do Trier. We're ahead. Wow, okay. Good stuff. Let's do Trier and Kiev. Okay. Hopefully we can make some manpower, dude. We're not... oh, well, it's rebels, right? Rebels is where we're losing manpower. So we're gonna tick this up, or go for these. What's more prio? I think going for these, right? You just won't get much traffic. Yeah, you're not... it's exactly the same, Milkman, with literature. You can... you can write a book. Yeah, you can self-publish. Just nobody will read. And you might be like, but you can cross-promote it. No, you can't. That's the thing. No, you can't. Of course you can. You can do whatever you want on the internet and have zero success and have a complete waste of time and nobody's reading your product. But if you promote it anywhere, you'll get banned off of those ways that you promote it. It's worse than that. You will get, for example, it could be something like PayPal. In the past, which will still happen, by the way, if you push the envelope far enough, it would be your mail. Try existing prior to the internet, email and so on, which, by the way, the email companies will drop you, Google and so on. Try existing when you cannot have your mail. In countries that have rights, or in country that has right, the USA, that's like illegal to deprive people of their mail, and it's taken very seriously in the past. Now, of course, there's very little human beings that live in the USA, and the zombies will just brains just eat you alive. So you don't have rights in the USA any longer. But yeah, in the past you couldn't deprive US citizens of receiving their mail. But yeah, I mean, it's literally happened. I think of Ernst Zundel, if people know who Ernst Zundel is. His, he had his mail privileges taken away. So what do you do? What do you do? It's a good question. So you're wrong, basically. You can do whatever you want, but you can't at the same time. That's the whole point. That's how it's co-opted. And there's very few individuals who are willing to endure that kind of sacrifice. Have I ever set foot in the USA? No. I've only been to Australia and Singapore. I think that's it. Those are the only areas I've been to outside of New Zealand. Bosnians. Okay. It's here. Milkman, what do you... anyway, dude. It's just pointing out the obvious, but it's not relevant. Do you know what a mute point is? I say something and you say a mute point. You can do anything that you want in this life, but if you attract the ire of others, other people hate you, they dislike you, in some cases they're aggressive towards you, they're going to put harm towards you, you're on a list. And then meanwhile, you're achieving nothing relevant in terms of society, in terms of where anything's going, you're not having an effect. I mean, of course, like, yeah, welcome to life, you can do whatever you want. That's not what we're talking about. I try to remind people of that. Some people act like you can't where you can. I try to remind people you can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. End of story. Like, let's all keep that in mind. There's this idea of, like, in countries where you don't have freedom of speech that $10, thank you, Crazy Bugger, Jono, thank you so much, I appreciate that. It's just about what consequences are going to be, you're going to be exposed to, right? Okay, I'm making my way over. We actually have 12 months, so maybe we are playing too slowly, guys. We're about to peace out here. Ooh, rank mill. It's not a great advisor, but maybe we boost that guy up. Here's the unrest, wrong culture. How long does that discipline last? It's probably gone, eh? We can just check here. Yeah, our discipline's gone. It's way more economical to go for this, but I mean, the stronger and more decisive we are, the easier, well, the less manpower it costs us, right? Stettin had like 50,000 troops, guys. It's hard to say. At a radio show, I don't know who he is. Some guy, a priest or pastor, from the US Postal Service in the 30s, despite being one of the most well-known and popular in the country. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So if you have, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It happens in the US anyway. I make points today, and people laugh and scoff at me. It happens literally on chat, right? So this is what it's all about, by the way. This has been, it seems obvious to me, but people think, anyway. You know, I oppose what a lot of, let's just use it as an example, okay? But I'm just being brief in vague terms. Like, I oppose what like a lot of so-called liberals talk about today. Like, I don't fall into the category of neither being a communist, neither being like left or right wing necessarily. But I very often oppose what the liberals are talking about, and the reason why is because hey, Rizwan. They're just morons. They're just morons. It's not about what you think it's about. The right wing knows that to an extent. It's not about the subject. It's about completely and utterly evaporating your rights. The left wing is like, oh, let's bicker and argue about this thing, and I'm pro nobody has rights anymore. There was this guy in the USA who was assaulted, and he shot the guy who's assaulting him, and he went to prison. And he had a license to carry a gun. He's in like a open carry state, and he shot the guy who assaulted him. And it's because the criminal law in the USA is in a situation where people who carry guns are bad. The person who assaulted him was like a person of color or whatever, but it was just the most clear. It was on film, and they showed the film. He was shoved, and the guy caught air, guys. The guy came up behind him and shoved him so hard that he caught air, like he went flying, and he rolled over on his back and shot the person who assaulted him. Happens in seconds. And then he goes to prison because the people who are representing the person who's dead or whatever in law, because somebody's suing him, right? Oh, he murdered this person instead of defending himself. They play the race card. And literally I saw that it's like a lawyer movie, right? Like this Hollywood garbage. And you have this person who comes up on stage and he's like, let's not forget who's the victim here. Talking about the person who got assaulted, talking about the person who defended himself, talking about the person who, now his life has been ruined by this event. He never asked for it. And you see the jury, in this case, a woman who I'm thinking of, who just rolls her eyes in disgust. Thinking, oh, like he's the victim. Meanwhile, who's dead? The person of color who happened to assault him. So this is what's happening. Is the people's you have the ability to carry a gun, or you have the right to defend yourself in the USA. No, you're having a laugh because your neighbor will put you in prison for expressing your rights. This is what's happening. This is what it's about. It's not about any individuals. Or moreover, any race of people or anything like that. It's about you have no rights whatsoever because your own neighbors will put you in prison. That's the reality of the situation. It really is like that. So if you happen to have a right on the textbook in law, you're lucky if you can express that right, because you can't in most cases. In some cases it does, but you'll be in legal battles for years? Yeah, exactly. And by that, you mean you'll be put in prison because people don't care about the truth because they're not Christians. They don't care about the truth and they just imprison you if it makes them feel good. I mean, this is the most clear-cut and dry situation you could possibly imagine. A guy literally gets assaulted from the rear, like surprise, smashed from the rear, turns around, shoots the assailant, and he was imprisoned for shooting the assailant. He didn't do anything illegal. Everything. Like, you can go through the whole case. Everything, he's good. He's fine. But the USA, this is why I call them zombies. Because they're zombies. They don't care about the law. They don't care about precedent. They don't care about anything. They don't care about the truth of the matter. They just care about what makes them feel and look and feel cozy inside. Okay, guys, let's go. This war is won. Looking good. So here's where we have to open and close the game. Here's Armenia, 3 provinces, one of which we wish he didn't have. But he's Coptic. Ah! It's his capital, dude.
Deus Wort.
We just have to integrate him. Before forming Rome. Oh man, what a joke, dude. Man, I'm pissed. Armenia has 2 missionary strengths, but he doesn't go religious. For people who don't know. Well, Just gonna have to integrate him into the country. Oh man, how aggravating. Okay, anyway, thank you, Lap. Appreciate that. Man, that's really disappointing. Geez, I feel this is a struggle, dude, this game. That's really awkward. It wasn't the highest dev or anything like that. His capital starting province is, I don't know, he doesn't exist in the beginning of the game. You'll have to Google it for me. I think it's this. So, and, it's completely random HB legend, but we'll see. Certain nations do have a bias towards their capitals and other ones don't. This game doesn't know if it's coming or going, dude. That's the reality of the situation. I mean, all that I was trying to say is that these court cases and so on, they exist for a reason. They're being pushed out into the public for a reason, like all of them, but people are too ignorant, they don't realize what's happening to them. 20% reduce aggressive expansion for 10 years, that's really nice. And you might say, what court cases? That court case, I don't know what you're talking about, Monk. Well, it's the ones you do know. You would know of if I referred to them. That exists for a reason. But it's all about having... Anyway, you need people to represent your rights for your rights to exist. That's all that I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what rights you supposedly have if they're not being represented. Looks like no capital preference. Yeah, we're screwed. Anyway, we have to integrate them into the country. That's alright. It just is... We have to do it to form Rome, though, which is really annoying and unfortunate. Oh boy, let's open and close the game here, guys, to see if the coalition goes away. Which it should do. The only reason it formed is because we were fighting the Ottomans. But unfortunately, I wanted to attack France so badly, and he's being guaranteed by England. It's terrible. So the only people who can coalition us are this guy. We're not going to attack him. France. So the question is, Stettin. Do we attack Stettin? It's certainly easier than fighting Munster if you look at their diplomacy, and we could get it started now, but we'd be hanging out at war. My war exhaustion is actually going down, so I definitely think we want to delay to an extent. All of these cultural conversions that we employed, they should finish within the allocated amount of time. I will grab royal marriages when I can. We're also going to placate here and there. Just they cost 5 legitimacy, guys, so we need to build our legitimacy up some more. How are your edicts? We have 2 states, one of which I'm going to retract when I can, when the culture's finished here in a couple years. So we have no edicts. Okay, no rebels right now. Let's drill a little bit as if it does anything. Yeah, we're going to take Steadin. We're going to take Steadin. I mean, either way, whether we wait for Munster or take Steadin, it keeps Steadin out of the coalition, that's it. We could also seize land, which would cost us in terms of the rebels spawning everywhere, which is just absolute cancer. I mean, they could spawn on the islands. I don't think we do it. Open and closing the game. Ruins our merchants. Awesome, I love it. I don't think we can afford to do that, so we're not going to. Yeah, let's turn the speed up a little bit here. We cannot make any mistakes. I actually made a mistake last session, or a couple of them, which were like micro engagements, and it costed us big time. Like, I cannot afford to do that. I don't care how slow we play. Oh, okay, Animus Zealots? Uh-oh. Oh no. This is bad. Okay. So, these now need to be a prio to convert them, but I'm gonna buy them down 20. Yikes. Our mill is so valuable to us. Okay, again, that's a mistake that we cannot afford to occur. Alright, so we need to look at these provinces and convert them so the unrest goes away. Kiribati is most important. We're drilling all of our stacks, which is interesting. Another thing that's interesting is if nations go to war when they're supposed to coalition us, keeping themselves fractured. That would be really good. Right now, there's war going on, but it seems to me like they could all easily resolve themselves. Okay, so the rest of the Animus Zealots would actually go away if our war exhaustion wasn't there. But we're going to overextend a lot. Let's get in position. I want to do this as clean as possible. And the coalition's coming up, guys, so I'm scary. Yeah, I mean, this is a really weird situation to be in because, like, I'm just going to... So, I almost want to, like, turn chat off if there was an option, just purge chat right now. Guys, let me say something. So, I know there are some people who are supportive of what I say. There's an individual that I used to look up to a lot. And he used to say, we need to deal with this. Gross. Gross. If you want to see why things are the way that they are, then look at yourself in the mirror. And I felt like for the longest time I was aware of that sort of thing. And I would be interested in that sort of thing. And it's not until more recently, you know, I'm 31 now. I'd say the last few years that I take that more seriously than ever before as I look at myself in the mirror. I think that people do not look at themselves. So for people who are so-called woke, right? I know people don't like that term, but people talking about politics right now in my chat, yeah, I was saying political things, so it's my fault. What are you doing that's productive right now, you guys? You're not. The answer is that you're not. I'm talking about people who I care about. I'm talking about Subscriber. I see him. Literally a seal. I see him. Adman. All of you guys I view positively. Right? I don't hate you guys. You guys, right now, all of you, among everybody else, are tearing down chat. You're tearing down my community, right? And I know. I'm ultimately who's responsible. I realize that. But do you see what you are doing? Do you? Do you? So you guys are supposed to be smarter or wiser, or you're giving your opinions. Look at yourself in the mirror, okay? Because you're better than the rest of them. That's why I like you. And you're pathetic, okay? And the same goes to me as well. I take accountability. Don't think that I don't. I'm better than 99% of people in the world, and I'm not that good. Okay, guys? So please, if you want to prove how smart you are or whatever, take a leaf out of Ken Dota's book and just shut up in my chat. Like, you're sitting there typing paragraphs. You can't do anything. Even if I say something and you echo chamber me and talk about how smart I am, you can't do anything in my chat. Like, it goes without saying, right? Just please don't. I've lost hundreds of viewers, literally, over the last hour or whatever. I brought it up. I take accountability. But this is the state that we're in, is the smart people just go around tearing down, burning everything around them. It's just insane. It's truly insane. Just stop. Appreciate that. Protsplits! Thank you for the 12 months, and I appreciate that. 1 year. It's so generous of you, dude. Get our morale up here. I'm moving away. Surely there's Ottoman rebels coming. There are. I mean, this is the state of humanity. Like, this guy, Synth the Great. It's not one individual. It doesn't matter if we're talking about EU4. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's so many individuals. He says, lol, we're chiming in on Monk's remarks in a pretty chill way, and now that's tearing down chat, shaking my head. That's some smooth brain shit. So what I said is what I said about accountability. Some people look at me, some people message me on Discord. I have people who try to advise me, people who have my best interests in mind, and they talk about, like, you can't do what you do, Monk. It's not going to work out for you. You can't do this thing. And I take so much accountability that even though I have so little, I put so much on my shoulders because there are individuals. You guys talking about there's 250 people right now, and we scare people away. But there are individuals. I've left my mark already, and I continue to do so. I destroy myself. I'm sitting here, and what I said a moment ago is smooth brain shit. But in response to me looking over at the chat and looking over at wall after wall after wall after wall, whether it's right or wrong, look at the chat. In response to that, in that context, he says we're chiming in on Monk's remarks in a pretty chill way, and we're quote-unquote tearing down chat, shaking my head. That's not smooth brain? Didn't I just call his behavior like a prophet, and he continues to walk down the road that I just said? Talk about a lack of accountability. This is why Monk's the emperor of mankind. Put the whole world, like Atlas, on his shoulders, and he'll sort it out for you. This is why Monk's the emperor, and he's a frickin' pleb. Jeez, dude. It's for anybody who has eyes to see, you can see it. You have the pleb, and you have the emperor, right? This is how it is. Jeez, I wish it wasn't the case. Let's go to war. So Steadin has walked away from us. He's probably there. He might get onto the island, though. Let's go to war. Yeah. Sucks for the manpower. I always am looking for like the cleanest engagement we could possibly do, but it doesn't exist. So in this war, we need to do this, which is all of the war score. Are we going to feed Holland into England? Nope. It's an option, but the answer is nope. I'd be surprised if we did that. Alright, that was the stack wipe against Stetten. Doing my bloody best, guys. It's nasty. Very, very, very nasty. So we're fighting a grand total of 2 nations. I really need to focus. I'm kind of scared, to be honest, guys, of the coalition. It comes up in June. So that's down England. Yeah, we got a tough period ahead of us. Songhai was last time in the coalition. He now protects us from the coalition, but I just don't think it's going to go away. I mean, the hope is that we attack England, right? We piece these two out simultaneously. So we have to stop England from attacking France, from guaranteeing France, so we can see what we're going to take from him. He doesn't have any allies? Man, I don't know. I don't even know if we can beat England. Anyway, because of days, well, anyway, provided that we do, then we would piece them both out. And we would hope the coalition would go away. The next war after that would be the Mamelukes, 2 years from now. Oh, man. If we attack the Mamelukes, that would pull Morocco out of the coalition. Would the coalition go away? We could always, if it doesn't proc on us, we could always ally other nations like Manchu. Japan just formed, by the way. He was Ashikaga at the beginning. Clean engagements are a pipe dream. I mean, that was pretty clean. That was pretty good. That's about as good as it gets there. We caught him when we stack wiped him. But, yeah. I know what you mean. Even that was, like, sloppy. It cost me manpower. We really want to be fast as well. I mean, I feel like the colonial stuff is going to lose us war score. So what if we attack England, guys, with the intention to white piece them so that we can attack France right now? And chunk him next. And keep him out of the coalition. Ugh, what a nightmare, guys. Starting to lose hope. You know, we're no longer as far ahead, and this is so tough, dude. Just the lack of manpower and the imminent lack of manpower. No resolution there. I don't know. Could state stuff up to slacken. If we're gonna slacken, you can see what we can state up. So we could state up like everything, but we can't do this again, right? Which puts us way over our governing capacity. And then let a month go by. Slacken a few times to get way more manpower relative, right? We can state all of this. Like Italy. But, you know, if you guys think that's enough, like, it's not really, right? We could be capped on manpower right now with 100,000 and it would go down the drain. That's how I feel. It's just hard. We're in a really hard spot. We'll probably have to do that kind of thing out of desperation. Won't have a choice in the matter. Now I'm interested to see the relations with my subjects, guys. It's actually Holland who likes us the least. The others, despite annexing subjects, they're pretty much capped out on relations. So I'm thinking now that next parliamentary debate, see that's 43, so it times out pretty well. We have the vassals again. So if we have the vassals again, we form Croatia. We pass this annexation cost reduction. We have the Croatian annexation cost reduction, and we might even have the policy here from admin ideas. Anyway, we're going to be admin capped again. Admin capped, Diplo annexation cost reduction again. And yeah, I might as well just get these guys into the country. Who knows? We do need Zealand. Who knows? Maybe we just do Holland as well. I'll have to think about it. Hey Toby, what's up, dude? Is this the Jame? We're really struggling. It's been a hard game, and it feels like it's going to continue to be hard. Right now. I mean, we're doing fantastic economically, but even then... Are we really? I mean, this should be a rank 5 advisor right now. Okay, all of these occupations have to go to, well, us, but then we need to be at peace to give them to Cologne. Which is awkward. That's really awkward. War score is pretty good. Doesn't look like we have to win battles. Guys, in June the coalition comes up. And I think that means we're going to go for France. So the idea is to attack England, which we have to do regardless, on the day the coalition comes up. Then the coalition is going to start building, and we're going to attack France, provided that they're not in the coalition already, which they probably will be. Californian separatists, yikes, okay. That's not the end of the world. We've got to watch those other separatists around the world, man. Those ones are okay. Age bonus. Age bonuses have been exhausted now, right? We don't really care. It's the culture. Oh man, I gotta remember Force March, dude. I'm glad he didn't lock in there. He would have made it by the looks of things. Okay, I feel like a little bit privileged there. That would have cost more manpower. Ah, we gotta be careful, Monk. Seriously. We just have no manpower. It's not gonna come from anywhere apart from slackening, which is gonna feel bad. Apparently the AI force marches now. So if he goes into Munster itself, it's woods. I guess we're going in. Okay. Now obviously these guys are going to have a comeback, right? If we're fighting other wars, that could easily potentially be the case. It's part of the reason I'm engaging Munster at all. Didn't you want to convert the animists? So I'm converting the. Do you see the one with 15.5? The other ones are at 0. Thought it was going to go away, dude, but to be honest, it's going to maintain by the looks of things. Shoot. So the overextension going away would get rid of it, but yeah. If anything, this is going to like prompt them. Where are these guys? Okay. West Micronesia. Alright, I'm going to have to do that on missionary returning. Just do, yeah. One more. It's got to last 7 months, hopefully without another rebel faction spawning. Come on, let's go for stack white, baby. Give it to us. Doesn't look good there, yikes. Stupid Germans, man, they're actually strong. Oh man, I mean, we're gonna have to slacken, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. It has to happen, which means we're not gonna get the on-war modifier from the Prussian missions because we're gonna be abandoning the Prussian ideas. Alright, so that's G-E-S-E. This should be the last one. Does convert, good. What we can do is go to Kiribati, and we can trade and company it. -1. Good. Yeah, I explained that would be the case, but it's a good call, Literacy. It looks like we're going to get that done by just focusing them out. That's fine. We'll take that approach. It's better. Alright, now we're at 100%. We're at 99%. Now, we're going to take these occupations there from the Stead peace deal. I just had an idea, dude. Let's do it right now. I didn't think of that. The problem is, guys, if I gave the occupations to Clone, we wouldn't have had the war score to piece them out. That's what we're going to do. Great. Great, but then we had to be at peace to hand off the provinces. I actually didn't consider doing that so quickly. That was super, super fast. Okay, cool. I'm stoked with that. So, when is it that we wanted to form Rome, guys? Can anybody remind me? 60. There's 22 years. So hopefully, with a long truce here, we can clap this while we're German culture, so we core it quickly. And it gives us 100 mil. Because I've been wanting to kill Stedin for a long time. Okay. How many more provinces do we need? 3. Ugh. Can't do it, dude. I actually can. Okay. Forget Lubeck. Lubeck is the only province required to form Hamburg. That's why I wanted to take it. To form Hamburg. To form Germany. But Hamburg does it for us as well. So if we're going to Diplo annex Hamburg, which I am going to do via Lüneburg or whatever, let's do it. Let's do it. That's the perfect 100% peace deal. That gives us the mission completed. I'm going to do it. Nice. Okay. Now, Clone, you better freaking take the stuff, dude. Please. $21 already. 43. Come on, you got this. Yes. Very good. Under 100? Okay, I'm happy with that, dude. So, actually being ahead of the game, imagine that, guys. 10 legitimacy? Permanent claims on territory we mostly already own, but some we don't, that's fine. Wait, what did it give us, actually? It was Prussian stuff. No, we already own it. But then, trade efficiency and reputation for 20 years, nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're not going to be Prussia for much longer, so we'll probably just pop that down. But this is the one. Beautiful. 100 military points. Loving that. We're not going to complete this guy here. It's 30 dev. Maybe somebody could figure out the event, University of Koningsberg, just to kind of clarify if it's actually worth it or not, but it's obviously not, guys. We're talking about 6 dev here. I mean, I could build the university, and I could state it for the edict without paying the admin, and then unstate it. It's all we can do. That's 30% reduced development. So it is a lot, but it'd still end up being a few hundred points. I doubt that event is worth it. I seem to remember looking it up, and it's not that important. This is actually higher dev than it ordinarily would be. Often it would be very low dev, but the Teutons existed for a long time, if you remember. And they've devved it. It's 100 admin. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I want it, but we can't really get it. Yeah, damn. Can't really do anything about that, but thanks for letting me know, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, so, as I'm skeptical we can actually beat England, but we do need to keep him out of the coalition, I'm gonna actually attack France. So, these corps have progressed well, and these are twice as quickly the Germans. So this is all gonna finish up, and we're gonna chunk France. That's our next move. I guess we're just white piecing England, but England is like huge concern now. Also, the truce with Provence is up. Man, maybe we delve that. If we're not going to defeat England, maybe we delve this. England has to be a huge priority now, though, dude. Huge. It's going to be tough to beat them. We need like claims, but like for the war goal. But it's not going to work like that, guys. Like we get a claim, and I mean, I could spend the dip. We're doing okay on Diplo. I could spend the dip. Any excess dip should go into Savoy. Would I take the Pope then too? We can actually full annex Provence. Maybe. This is Rome. It would be a multiple wars against Provence job and taking Rome, or it would be a go over 100 over extension. Anyway, I think we should get this started. I think that's the way to go. Or on the other hand, England has no allies. We co-belligerent England when our truce comes up. Oh, that could be the play. We co-belligerent England and we use Provence's war score to take the stuff. That's the play. Okay. We're going to want to white piece the Pope as quickly as possible. So we're going to be fighting Provence, England, and France, basically, guys. That's the idea. Muster everything out here. I was just exploring the ideas. I said that once, Adman, when... Do you remember? I remember. Because it was... I was being attacked by chat. It was during one of our runs here where we were fighting the Ottomans when we were weak as Hungary and they were strong. And we were under the most amount of pressure humanly possible because that's as hard as it gets in the early game as Hungary when you're trying to build up and fight them. And I was manning up on the Ottomans. I was baiting them into the mountains, but I had no morale. Do you remember? I remember. And chat was freaking out that we were going to lose the battle. Like I looked over at chat and just everybody was saying F, but there were people in chat who, it wasn't just the one thing, right? Okay, why are these all on? Let's turn buildings off. It's okay. Spend prestige. Yeah, anyway, we won the battle, was the long story short, and I said that because there was somebody in particular who was trying to challenge me that I'm so bad or whatever. $15 Diplo. We keep getting that event, it's really nice. Chat's really useful, and I like keeping them around. This is why we keep you around, chat. But no, they're yeah, it's definitely about managing. You don't want to be swayed and influenced in the wrong direction by chat. Also, Landax with the raid. Thanks, man. Good timing, I guess. Thank you so much, dude. Hope you had a good stream yourself. We're gonna co-belligerent England here. I'm really struggling, guys. Welcome. Welcome. We're trying to do like the hardest run ever, as per usual, and a lot's going wrong. We just released Armenia, guys, and his capital was in the one province required to form Rome, which I was going to seize from him as soon as we released him from the land that we took. It's that kind of thing, dude. It's just devastating. Feels horrible. Game keeps kicking me in the balls. We're going to seize that, and that's his capital city. Hey, Jord, what's up? Yeah, but it's not one thing, it's everything. We're struggling. I'm struggling a lot. We're out of manpower completely. So it's going to have to come from slackening standards here. The last thing's needed for the Prussian missions. We need Berg. I think that might be it. What a truce of mains. I should dow this, eh? Edman, thanks for the gift of sub, dude. Appreciate that. We need Berg. Then we've completed that. We've completed that, and we've completed that. Yeah, wow. It's a hard choice right now because I wish you could dow people more than once per month. If we don't attack Provence, we're screwed, guys. Let me think about this here. Aha, we can see India. We weren't able to see India previously. So Malwa is a Muslim. Let's go. I want to ally that. Because he's going to be coalitioning us soon enough. As we're going to be crushing all of this. That's the idea. Okay. I'm going to ally Malwa. He might not be the strongest in the world. He's at Mil Tech 18. It's pretty good. But I value him more than the others. Whoa! Malwa's got the third largest army, guys. Holy frick. Well, he's clearly the right choice. Anyway, but that's one less Muslim and one more ally. So we're 3 overall relations. Is that right? I guess that's right. I'm thinking Armenia doesn't exist yet. Okay, so that's going to be the case for 5 years, guys, and then we're gonna eliminate Lithuania, Cologne, Limburg, maybe Holland, Armenia. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to do it. The tech's doing fine. We're culture converting as much as we can realistically, and Diplo's doing okay on 9 per month. Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Anyways, we're going to grab that ally while we can. We're going to retract this diplomat because now we're waiting 40 days, and we're going to do this one first. Ah, man. It's a hard choice. I want to do Berg. So here we go. This This is our anti-Pope stack. We want to probably white piece him. Think about that. We need that fort from England and the occupations in general. I think we should focus on Berg first. So let's be optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic that he doesn't join the coalition. Let's see what happens. Coalition starts building. Dum 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 dum. It's going to be 3rd of July that we can declare our next war. Khorasan's inside. Ulm, Morocco, Tunis. Great Horde. Yikes. Berg joins on the 2nd of July. Which is the same day we could have declared the war. Hang on. How bad is the coalition? Let's look at it. We only need 1 province. Could be the play. Khorasan, 1 province minor, Tunis sucks, Morocco. We could whack Ulm. We could whack Dortmund. We could whack Berg. I think that's the play, guys. I think that's the play. I think we fight this, we just take Berg itself. That's all that's required to pass the German Confederation, but it splits the coalition up here. So obviously everything else is going to join the coalition, but if we split the coalition up and then we get to peace after the Mamluk War, we're going to do this in the Mamluk War, with our new allies, I think the coalition will go away. So I think we snipe this, right? Okay. Let's go. I hope we can get this fairly easily. He's going to have increased enthusiasm. It's really important to win battles where we can. Come on, catch on. This is a really big city here. It might not be worth our time. I think slackening is the only way forward. I don't know about you guys. Slackening standards, which means we're basically, because we're about to abandon the Prussian missions, guys, we're basically abandoning this. I can't get it. You need 100 professionalism. We're lucky to maintain 80 right now. So we're done. We're done with the missions. We're going to pop this, and we're going to pop the German Confederation. And then we're done with the missions, which means we can form Croatia whenever we desire to do so. Okay. Let's think about this. We're actually ahead in military points. So we could dump some. Let's think about this. If we're going to go for professionalism to slacken, is it possible to slam this up to 100 before slackening? Gotta keep in mind that we only make 9 per month on a rank 5 advisor because of this trash guy here. We do have a 6 coming in the future. So we're 2k manpower in the ditch. Let's keep pushing the envelope. So I know that we're going to try to keep the 80 morale damage received for our units in reserve. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do that. We've got to do 15 more. What's 15 times 45? I mean, 10 times 45 is 450. Plus 225. 670. 600 and... Is that right? 672, something like that. I don't freaking know. 675, yeah. 675. I mean, we could almost do it if we wanted to, guys. It's pretty good, man. I mean, obviously this modifier is insanely good, by the way. But the problem is in our run, we never drill our armies. So gaining 25% more and losing 25%, which is ridiculously good. Unfortunately, we just don't realistically have the drill modifier because we're always at war. But even the reinforcement cost, dude, that is so much money. And, you know, I wish we could laugh at money like it's no object, but it is. I've learned from this run, money is an object. Like, we could be doing courthouses. You guys know the buildings we have to do. Yeah, the reinforcement cost is amazing. It's not like it's wasted points, like it's professionalism. We're almost there. I wonder if we could afford to do it, dude. This tech is combat width and cannon. It's not that strong. It is strong, but it's not that strong if we're behind briefly. Let's look at the MEMS quality. We're going to be fighting the MEMS shortly. 4.9 morale. I mean, we're a lot stronger, but that's provided that we have manpower, dude. I think I'm leaning towards doing it, guys. I'm leaning towards doing it. I'm just going to go ahead and pass this guy here, because we're genuinely about to abandon the missions. So the idea is we go up to, we get 120 more mil, we pump this up to 100, we drop an army with a state. Can somebody actually research the event on war? Because I think that's an extra bonus as well, right? Do you see how on war happens? And then Prussia gets an army with a state modifier until the end of the game? On war is an event in of itself as well. I forget what it does. 50 admin, 1 stab, I think. That would be great. Anyways, that's what I'm leaning towards doing. Okay, good. We have the 10% reduced war score cost. Dude, I'm not making any sense right now. I'm just thinking about so much stuff. 10 war score is what I mean against Berg. And his enthusiasm drops. That's what I was going to say next. It's going to be a question of enthusiasm. We're not full annexing him. So obviously Dortmund, Berg itself gives us war score. I'm going for Ulm. I think this is a really good decision, guys, to split the coalition like that. Easy. Easy, I'm stoked with that. The biggest downside is that we're caught with our pants down here fighting England, and we've got a short amount of time before fighting the Mamluks. The Mamluks. Yeah. Positioning very often is key to having a decisive victory. And we're going to be out of position. Try to minimize the... It's a rebel faction here. Try to minimize the manpower lost. Because of the event, half-price morale, dude, is solid. Yeah. And stab. Yeah. Sounds good. Well, we have no mill points then. In that case, we're pushing for it. It's very satisfying, eh? At least, at the very least. We haven't achieved that in my other runs. We skipped over it. Damn it. Okay, back to going to super piece the Pope out. There's Dortmund. I mean, look at that war score. Super, super, super good. We just need Berg game, and then we can move on. Let's go. Yeah, are these core rebels coming? What would these rebels be here? Sorani and AQ. Gotta make sure we don't have the cores delayed. I'm just surprised the Ottomans haven't spawned, guys. Like, that was from 2 wars ago. Taking its sweet time, eh? But I'm not gonna move units away. No way. Okay, RIP. This is where our money went last session as well. Nobles demand recompensation. I don't know what makes that event fire. I thought it was a loyalty thing from the nobles, wasn't it? Okay. Let's go fight Provence. Non-existent nobles demand recompensation, exactly. It's got to be a bug. Wow, awesome. We're just throwing away thousands of ducats over a bug. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it is a bug or not, but I thought that might be the case, which is worrisome. It's concerning. It's not the first time that's happened, is the thing. It keeps happening. Okay, good job, my friend, winning a battle there, which is definitely something that's not guaranteed to occur. Okay, the MEMS truce comes up next year, guys, in November, so it's actually 12 months from now. Ooh, that's a worry. The event has nothing about the nobles. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Still plenty of people to fight. I mean, we need to fight more engagements to get ticking war score, which is a concern, because what can happen is that you kill anybody that you could potentially fight, and you don't have the ticking war score or enough war score, which is very bad. Man, I don't regret doing that at all. That was a nice, cheeky little move there, guys, grabbing some of Berg. Now, viewing who we're at war with, we would even have more to play with here. So how's the overextension? Okay, so that's our biggest limitation. I was going to say that we grab like another one. We do have the admin. That's 16. No, slightly over. I think we're content with that, right? I think we're content with that. We can push back the truce. On these guys? Yeah. How did I get that big? This is the 10th part, dude. So you'll have to watch 10 sessions if you really want to know. But we started as Bohemia. And in case you can't tell, everything you see here in green is us. So these are our PUs, Lithuania, Russia, Sweden. We got vassals around and about, and those are even our colonial nations who we're actually going to abandon later. But this is all of us. We have Russia. So the major thing that happened that was lucky this run is we PU'd Spain. Pretty much everything else, like, we've already been fighting Denmark over and over again. I would have released Sweden, released Norway, reconquested them, fed them to Russia, that kind of thing. That definitely makes things a bit easier, for sure, PUing Sweden, but it's not huge. this is definitely geographically, it's sort of visually inflated as to how the size and stuff. The dev's pretty low, and with Reconquest it's reduced. War score cost. The PU of Russia is something... So I am actually working on some YouTube content, guys. Follow my YouTube channel, BudgetMonk, on YouTube, because I'm working on a personal union guide. I will show you guys how to PU people, because I've spoken about it many times before, but you can very consistently. That's why I didn't say the major thing was about PUing Russia, because you can very consistently, you can PU a nation if you're determined to do it from the beginning of the game. But I'm sick of explaining how. I am working on a guide as to how to do it, so you guys can see for yourself. Whereas Spain, all we did is keep our eyes open and we got lucky. That's the difference. That was luck. And we only have a short window of PUing people because we would have been rushing his territory to form Rome. So the fact that we got it within the window is just amazing. Really, really, really good. Really good. Now in the case of Provence, we're trying to use his war score to take the English mainland. So it's not much war score, we need to get ticking war score off of him. You smell a PU nerf? Well, Crowspot, there used to be a time where they would literally nerf me as I make my videos, they would nerf my videos. But right now, Paradox doesn't have their act together. They seem incapable of doing anything, including making the game just simply function without terrible input lag and so on. So I bet you're wrong. Because in the last patch, they actually made it so that you can PU people very easily. As long as you're not playing on very hard difficulty, as you guys know, right? Because the hardest step, let's say, to the puzzle, the hardest piece of the puzzle is having your dynasty on your ally's throne. Well, if you're not on very hard difficulty, in the current patch on Leviathan, you can just put your dynasty on their throne. And you might say it's not that easy, it requires 100 favors. It's that easy. It really is that easy. I mean, you gain favors like 4 times as fast in Leviathan, and you can curry favors. So yeah, with like not that much difficulty, you can just put your dynasty on their throne, and then you curry the favors, you put them into trust, and then you PU them. So it's now an absolute joke to PU people unless you're on very hard difficulty. So there may be a PU nerf, but it would be because of that, not because Paradox just doesn't know if they're coming or going. Like they'll make something piss easy, and then it might get nerfed if they're capable of even addressing their own issues. I don't know. But it's not going to be because of my guide. There it is, guys. 5 admin efficiency. Beautiful. We're up to 50. Now that modifier, of course, lasts until the end of the game. Very good. Okay. Another big boy there. He's on the mountains. Manpower is coping, guys, so we're trying to push. We're trying to push for an army with a state. It gives massive AE with everyone in the world, not even non-Christians. Is that if you put your dynasty? What are you guys talking about? If you put your dynasty, you get AE? Well, I don't have much experience with Leviathan. If that is the case, then maybe it's not as strong. It's only 20 AE. That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, thanks for telling me though. 20 is not massive. Not at all. Very often, so the way that AU works... So I'm somebody who plays in like Germany a lot, so people are probably familiar with that. Well, the Empire obviously gets increased AE. The Empire doesn't exist in my game. But the way that it works is culture group is relevant. If you're killing Germans, the Germans hate more. If you're killing Italians, the Italians hate more. and it also works off of a region, the region map mode. So if you're in a region, then that region gets more, and then it's an adjacent region, right? And then adjacent bar 1. This is like how it works. And then obviously the religious stuff as well. But if you're, let's say you're playing as Brandenburg and you ally Russia over Poland to split them, you could feed Russia with the intention to PU him, which gives you favors, which you put into trust, which is the key to PUing him clean. And then having the intention to own the Russian land yourself, and feeding him costs no aggressive extension. Well, if we take a look, obviously he's Orthodox, and your AE is going to be localized in Germany. So there's Poland, Baltic, Russian. Yeah, so he's like two away. He's Orthodox, and then people saying it with everybody, including Muslims. I mean, the Muslims aren't going to care. Like, it is relevant to know, because I don't know those sorts of things. But 20 AE is very low. It's not very low, but in most cases it's going to be low. Okay, good. Let's go occupy England and get more battles won. Okay, I guess rebels down here. Nah, I'll take the stack in Rome to deal with that. Well, it's additional necro, but yeah, exactly. You gotta keep in mind it is additional AE. You'd also get AE from PUing them and stuff as well, right? But I agree with you. It still makes the PU game super easy by comparison. It is a joke for such high value clay. Damn it, dude. That guy just 29s me. Bad bastards. I was hoping to just roll through there. Five Sieger is my best Sieger. So we're actually done with Prussian missions, guys. We're gonna brute force our way up, our professionalism up, which is kind of crazy. I feel like I have to do it to put it into manpower anyway. That's kind of the defining move for me. But we're gonna be behind on our mill, which is gonna feel horrible. Like, obviously, if I did it, I would only push professionalism up by another 5 or so, and then stay around 80. But we're gonna push it further. Well, this is horrible. Pope's trolling me with that shit. Okay, we got 21 years before the designated form Rome time. So this is now adjacent to Saxon. That's going to finish in time. Because it's less dev than the years. So no way it costs time. It's too late to convert that to Croatian. That's regrettable. So we might have to throw out a couple points developing Croatia in that case. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced that we're going to be majority Croatian. We're supposed to unstate Newmark. It's almost there. Try to catch that. Saxon. Okay. I know this is tedious, guys. It would be a lot easier if there weren't other Germans, and it would be a lot easier if the religious unity was good, and what other things, if Saxon was our primary culture. But we're looking for opportunities here, and they're few and far between to actually convert to Saxon. I think that's all we're going to get. I think that's all we're going to get. Aha. Good. It's worth looking for the opportunity. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, let's take this super quickly. Don't troll me at 42%, please. Like, we got this 5 siege general. Just give it to me, game. 1 month it. One time, dude. We're in a big hurry here. Okay, so we just took the stuff. Now that woods fort that he built here is actually pretty useful. I'm going to delete that woods fort. And this farmlands fort. We got a sort of Berlin Wall action going here, splitting down. But enemies struggle to walk through that right now. Hey, we did 1 month. Good job. I didn't believe in them when I said that. Let's go. Time really matters, guys, because we're not in position to deal with the Mamelukes. That's interesting. He might kill our rebels for us if we just let them run amok there. If we're not in position. Alright, farmlands is as good as it's going to get. We need to win the battles to get the war score. Now, Rome. We've been trying to take Rome forever, dude. If we're gonna full annex Rome, guys, dude. It'd be so nice to just get rid of him now on multiple counts. The missionary. Full annexing him, like, if he gets allied or guaranteed or anything by anybody, you need to 100% them all, you know? What's the dev of this stuff? 21. Yikes. I'm thinking about the overextension. And the war score. Just attack him through mains. Yeah, I mean, we can't take it all. I'll leave him with weak allies. I can't take it all. Yep. Okay, let's get trade power money from him. Let's just get prestige, because we're not going to worry about the length of war. Trade power's good in Genoa. Yep, I can't do it, guys. We got to go for England right now. Okay, so that should kill this guy, please. These rebels here. Well, that was a stack wipe, which is good in a way, but we're barely on ticking war score, it looks like. We can unstate Neumark now. Good. Do that while I can. He's going Saxon. Nice. This is the way our culture looks, guys. This is the accepted culture map mode. Now, it has random Germans and other promoted cultures, but you can see the orange ones. The orange ones are what we're converting to Saxon. You see that? Plus Saxon. So, it's okay. Could be better. We're hoping still, chat, are we optimistic? That we can form Rome here pretty smooth and then start smashing out the cultures. The more awkward it is to form Rome, the more awkward it's going to be to actually efficiently put culture conversions out. We need our culture to be Roman, so we're no longer converting to Saxon. That's the long short of it. Now we co-belligerent England here. So the idea is to use this war score. Provence is already full annexable. We proved that for war score, and that was prior to getting us admin efficiency. Even under 100 overextension. Beautiful. So by the time we come in against them, we're going to have the Savoyard admin efficiency as well. So he's fine. We're going to come and take him out no matter what next war. That's the goal. That is the goal. Should I be fighting France right now? He's not in the coalition. We're here. It would mean pushing back the Mameluke war, which he could have the opportunity to join the coalition. So we fought off the coalition, guys. So do you see the coalition that exists? I mean, it's not much. If we fight France, he can join. Then we would dow the Mams as well. I mean, I'm in position to fight France. Or alternatively, if the Mams join, I mean, is that a real coalition? We have allies. We have 3 big allies. Man, I can't risk the Mamluks joining. Like, I really can't. Because, he's guaranteeing this dude. France or Mamelukes? I mean, we need a 2-war job against France, guys. Geez, apparently, according to his war score, maybe we don't. We might better do 1 overextension war against France. Because it's not a full annexation of France, and he's 102 war score. Huh. Huh. Yeah, I know, I need both of the land to form Rome. Dude, we might better do a 1-war job against France. It probably would be overextension, right? What's reducing our war score cost right now, guys? The Hussite 10%. Is there anything else? Diplomatic ideas. That's 30% reduced. Yeah, I mean, the smart thing to do is just to do a small land grab against France and then another small land grab, as opposed to one huge one. I've got to think up until, like, the early 40s. Geez, I didn't realize how late it's gotten, guys, actually, to be honest. I started late today. Yep. So I think that's a good thing to think about in between sessions. I'm going to call it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic, guys. I mean, I think we handled today well. I really like how splitting that coalition went. That was beautiful. And if we are going to push our professionalism all the way up to 100, then that's some kind of resolution of manpower. And like I said, the plan is going to be to mass state stuff. So you can see we can state Spain, all of Iberia, southern France, all of Italy. We can state it all up so that our manpower is like high. Like it will probably double, I would say, easy. And then slacken away 2 or 3 times and then remove the states. By doing that, yeah, I mean, we're going to have, certainly manpower will be an issue going into the future, but it's going to be a huge stimulus of manpower because we're just pushing so aggressively for this this modifier. So it's going to be interesting. Tomorrow, we're going to be definitely forming Croatia, and I'm pretty sure, guys, that Croatia is insta-complete missions, and then it's going to be about Sardinia Piedmont. At that stage, we're genuinely going to have no states at all. But we're going to have a 0 development capital here in Turin, which is also going to be 41 development, it looks like, with 0 autonomy. So actually a powerful capital. And it's going to give us a merchant, because we can retract the one who collects in Genoa, although we'll switch him out there. Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. I actually feel way better about this game, guys. It was starting to be less punishing as the game went on. We're 3,000 in the ditch. Not too bad. Not too bad. These wars don't seem that grim, so I'm looking forward to it. Thanks guys. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow if you can make it. I shouldn't talk, guys, because I never fulfill. But I've been working on YouTube content, okay? So, yeah, trying. So go follow me on YouTube, guys. BudgetMonk if you don't. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.